We showed you one of the first same-sex marriages in the state live on TV5.
But just a few days later, judges in that same county say they will not perform any more marriages, gay or straight. The News at 6 starts right now.
Live and local with coverage you can count on. This is WNEM TV5 News at 6.
As a voter, I want to know what the real reasoning is.
No more marriages. That's what a local district court has decided, saying judges will no longer perform marriages.
It's a similar move that is playing out in different areas across the country in the aftermath of the same-sex marriage decision. It doesn't matter who you are or who you are marrying. It won't be officiated by a county judge.
It has angered some who believe that it's just a loophole for courts to avoid marrying same-sex couples. TV5's Nick Lully reports.
I was confused. I didn't know why. It seemed a little bit suspect.
Amanda Butson says she wants answers as to why weddings in Midland's 75th District Court are now a thing of the past.
The timing seems a little odd, being that Friday the SCOTUS ruling came down.
That ruling okayed same-sex marriage, and couples across the country headed to the altar looking to tie the knot, including this one at the Midland County Clerk's office that TV5 broadcast live on Friday. Again, that was at the Midland County Clerk's office. If you're looking to get married here at District Court, gay or straight, you're going to be out of luck because a clerk tells me they've stopped performing them altogether. So naturally, like Butson, we wanted to know why.
I was trying to get some information about district court weddings.
A clerk answering the phone confirms the weddings are history and only the county clerk will now perform them.
Do you know why?
The clerk says a change in statute is the reasoning, saying the law doesn't require them to perform weddings. So we wanted even more answers from the top. But court staffers refused to connect me with District Court Judge Michael Carpenter, a 2014 appointee of Governor Rick Snyder. And staffers tell me Court Administrator Gerald Ladwig is out of the office until next week.
I want to know what the real reasoning is. If there's someone who isn't comfortable performing those ceremonies now, I want to know that. I want to be able to vote for people that represent me.
Reporting in Midland, Nick Lully, WNEM TV5.
The county clerk's office will still perform marriages, much like the one we broadcast on Friday.
Switching gears now, some spotty showers, but it's pretty quiet as we take a live look in Bay City. That certainly wasn't the case about 2 hours south in Union City, where a 3.3 magnitude earthquake struck this morning. It's the second earthquake in Michigan in the last 2 months. The quake was not powerful enough, though, to do any damage. And while earthquakes are a pretty rare sight, a pop-up storm or two would not be tonight. Chief Meteorologist Brian Bachman joins us now for our first look at your forecast. Brian.
That's right, David. You know, if we're not rumbling on the ground tonight, some of us are seeing the rumbling coming from above us with a couple of thunderstorms out there tonight. You can see a pretty well-developed line of them. In fact, Flint, you've seen some heavier downpours in the last hour or so, but now the bulk of the heavier activity has moved closer to the Tri-Cities. Of course, on the radar here, too, you can see the epicenter of today's earthquake, a 3.3 magnitude, as David mentioned, near Battle Creek in Union City, just to the immediate west of I-69 in Calhoun County. And fortunately, too, as David also said, not really enough to do any damage, just enough to be noticed if you live close to that area. As for us here in mid-Michigan, of course, we're dealing with more of the rumbles from the sky, showers and thunderstorms, a particularly heavy one pressing its way ever closer to the I-75 corridor. So watch out from about Birch Run through the city of Saginaw and even extending southeast a little bit farther down towards, say, Mount Morris and Clio. You'll likely see at least a little bit of this wet weather as it continues to move southeastward, and also more of those extending just to the west of Houghton Lake with a very heavy line of shower and thunderstorm activity that will be pressing in within the next 15 to 20 minutes with other showers and storms around Gladwin, Midland, and into extreme eastern parts of Clare County tonight. We're down to about 63 degrees right now in Midland thanks to that rain-cooled air. 73 though in Flint, where it's still overcast. And as we go through the remainder of our evening, 7 p.m. temperatures mostly in the 70s, but we're going to keep that chance for a stray shower likely until about 1 a.m. before things finally shut down for the night. Full week forecast, including a look at 4th of July weekend, coming up in just a little bit.
Brian, thank you. Developing tonight, a tense few minutes in a mid-Michigan neighborhood after shots were fired near officers walking their beat.
The gunshots forced police to call in a helicopter and surround a Flint home. TV5's Ronnie Duncan is live in that neighborhood where the drama played out. Ronnie.
You know what? This is not an exaggeration. There was a massive police setting and presence around here, and it all centered around this house hours ago. You're talking about Sloan Avenue and Milburn, right here in Flint. And neighbors were told to run for cover or stay in their house. Why? Because someone was shooting, and police wanted to know why.
It's high drama even from a bird's eye view. Shortly after 12:30 on the north side of Flint, as police surrounded this house, responding to a call that gunshots had been fired in broad daylight as officers patrolled nearby.
4 troopers doing foot patrol in the city of Flint. As they're doing their foot patrol, they hear gunshots ring out. They turn towards the gunshots, and to my left, you see the red house. They see a man running into this house.
And it was at that house that police arrested this man, seen here in the back of the cruiser, moments after a woman who identified herself as a relative arrived, saying she just wanted to make sure that he was okay.
I just wanted to make sure my nephew's okay, that's all. I just want to make sure ain't nobody in that house dead and make sure he's okay.
The 23-year-old suspect told police what led to triggered the chaos.
He admits to having a handgun and just firing rounds, test firing his gun in close proximity to the troops.
Throughout the 1-hour ordeal, neighbors took cover, feeling like their community was once again coming under attack. Curry Wood says that's nothing new.
I hear shots all the time. I dodge them last 3 years, and I see my neighbor here coming out in the middle of the street. I hear voices and like an argument, and then I see them got someone down on the ground pointing guns, and I thought someone was hit, but actually I guess they weren't, and then they had to stand off.
While police did question 2 people here at this house, however, only one, the gentleman that you saw in our video, was handcuffed and taken to jail. Reporting in Flint, live, Ronnie Duncan, WNEM TV5.
Wow, Ronnie, thank you. Police say nobody was injured throughout the entire ordeal.
Police say a woman had to be hospitalized after passing out while driving her car. It happened on Marlette Road in Sanilac County just before noon today. Police say the 66-year-old driver had a medical issue, passed out, and then rolled her car. This is what the car looked like after the crash. Police say the woman was taken to a hospital. Her condition is not known at this time.
The Michigan legislature is considering a pair of bills that would boost pensions for retired state troopers. The bills would give less than 100 ex-troopers a pension of at least 16 grand a year. All the affected troopers are at least in their mid-80s, and all have pensions that are below the poverty line.
We do need to tidy up how we do business with each other.
We're hearing from a local school board president tonight, less than 24 hours after a pair of board members walked out right in the middle of a meeting. It's a situation that only appears to be getting worse, and last night that trend continued. TV5's Kristen Moore reports.
We want good service. We want our kids to get a good education, a better education.
Fred Harvey is the director of operations at First Ward Community Center in Saginaw. He says his job is all about helping kids and the community. He thinks that should also be the goal for members of the Saginaw School Board, but that isn't what he's seeing.
Last night, what I saw on the news was really embarrassing.
2 members walked out of last night's school board meeting upset that a member who was absent was allowed to vote over the phone. That vote helped elect Ruth Ann Knapp, school board president.
It is perfectly legal to do that. I have seen it done at the State Board of Education level 2 different times at 2 different meetings.
Interim Superintendent Kelly Petros unexpectedly announced she's retiring next month, halfway through her contract. She blamed what she calls unnecessary antics for stalling the progress of the district. But board member Maddie Thompson says there's plenty of blame to go around.
It's all the way down. You have to talk about yourself first.
Fred Harvey thinks many of board members' differences would be eliminated if everyone put the same thing first: the students.
If it's for the kids, you want the betterment of the kid. It's only simple stuff.
Despite all their disagreements, members of the Saginaw School Board must now come together to find a new superintendent for the district. Knapp says the plan is to have someone in place before school starts in the fall. Reporting in Saginaw, Kristen Moore, WNEM TV5.
The school board president says the superintendent opening should be posted by the end of the week. She says they will not conduct a nationwide search because it's just too expensive.
Well, summer is upon us, and that means demolition derbies, rodeos, and monster trucks.
Still ahead, where you can see all of that right here in mid-Michigan. Plus,
it's been a week since a tornado ripped through the community of Millington. This local church is accepting lots of donations. We'll have an update coming up.
You are watching WNEM TV5 News at 6, serving Hemlock, Fenton, Reese, and your hometown too.
It's coverage you can count on.